Welcome back. This is Keith. I'm here with
Russ and Danny.
This is Mike.
Charlie.
this. This is going to be part 2.
I like our little Glee Club intro thing.
Yeah.
We go that roundabout.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you? This is Mike.
Then you can take a walk on the south side with Lepke and Lucky. Late start to a good life. PCP, hallucinations, all kinds of fun shit.
Yeah, man,
And the men they are today.
and those, just the amount of gratitude that both of these guys got for the life that they have today. I mean, it's fucking inspiring, you know? It's like, because I was kind of thinking about this, and it was like, just to come out of the other side on fucking, with the shit that we've done, with like the fucking drinking and with the partying and shit, you know? But then to have that whole other element, to survive that and the fucking gang life, the streets, all like, it's, you know, it's a fuck, they're like, you know, I mean, I think in this one we get really deep on like the whole higher power thing, you know, and fuck, there has, for, you know, for me, I know without a doubt there's something that was looking, but for motherfuckers like that, like there is no,
Dude,
there's
one
no
of the
doubt.
greatest shopping sprees I've ever heard about. The shopping without any need for money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When Lepke came to Hollywood.
Yeah.
That motherfucker went, I don't know, I wanted to say this to him. The craziest part about this whole story is he started at Cherokee and Yucca, right? Or whatever, you know? Or that was where he went. That was like the first lick that he hit, you know? It was like that big one. And then he ended up, after getting on the bike and his people being like, yo, get out of the neighborhood, he ended up 2 blocks away from there. Like, no, what did you think was going to happen on a bicycle after, you know, fuck. I'm not going to ruin the story.
That was last episode.
Oh, fuck. Well, didn't fucking ruin the episode then, huh?
So
Thanks,
reminder.
Charlie.
No, that's good. So that's just a little taste of the kind of thing you're going to get tonight.
Yeah.
And more.
Ed Moore, I just want to be an old-time announcer. Please. All right.
Sábado Gigante.
Man, oh, man. Well, and everybody doing good?
Yeah, good.
Good week?
Yeah.
Everything's cool?
Still here, still kicking,
Still here,
baby.
still kicking? Yeah.
Nobody's got that Modelo virus.
That's right.
It's got everybody real nervous. So anyway, wash your hands.
By the time this airs.
Yes,
We'll
let's
see.
Yeah, well,
let's
if this airs.
Oh God. Anyway,
Wash your hands.
wash your hands
And wash your ass while you're at it, too, motherfuckers.
do the whole thing. Wash yourself, and like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. You mean you didn't have to love me, but you did, but you did, but you did. And I thank you.
That's wonderful.
Let's get into it.
The other one is, when you get out of the joint, you keep your state blues on for a few days.
I was at this motel in West LA, and I was fucking with the tweak, and I get a hotel room, and I'm so panicked already. I think that the cops are around, they're outside, it's not. So I figure I'm gonna take all this dope and I'm gonna crush it all up, and I'm gonna load up all these syringes. But I'm not gonna keep the syringes in the hotel room. I'm going to keep them out by the pool, stashed by this trash can. And every few hours when I want to get high, I'll just go and grab one of these syringes. And I did this for like a day and a half, bro.
What motel? Where was it?
I was on Santa Monica Boulevard by Federal. So it's maybe like it's called like the Lodge Inn or the something Lodge. And it's right across the street from that big church that has that gold little angel.
Oh, yeah.
With you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
It's
of course,
right
yeah.
across the street from that. And they got a swimming pool and different shit there. And so I'm doing this for about a day and a half. I'm fucking gone, bro. And I remember I had like about an eighth of meth, a big ass ball, and I had crunched it up on the table inside this motel. And I thought for sure that the cops were outside. They were about to bust in the door, and I was like, fuck. And I scraped all of it off of this table into this little coffee cup. The coffee cup had like some cold coffee from that was just sitting around in there. It was about maybe like an inch or two of coffee in there, cold just. And I scraped it in there. And I thought, man, if they come in, they're not going to find it now because it's in the coffee, right? Finally, I open up the doors, and there's nobody out there.
No, and there never is.
There never is.
Never is.
And so I go, you know what? I'm going to go down and get some cigarettes. I'm going to get in my car and go get some cigarettes at the mobile station, which is about a block and a half away. So as I'm kind of straightening up the pad, as I walk out, just out of habit, I grab that little coffee cup and I swig it down. And right when I swig it down, I go, oh, God damn. I'm trying to remember how much dope was actually
Was
inside
it
that
coke
cup.
or meth?
Meth.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't, I'm like, and it was so fucking bitter. I was like, fuck, how much was that? And I couldn't really think, and I was like, I just was like, fuck it couldn't be that much. So I fucking get in my car, and I'm like, I can really taste it bad. I'm trying to grab an old Gatorade and get it down. I'm like, I get in my car, I drive down to the mobile station, and I'm starting to get real warm as I'm driving to the mobile station, and I pull up, and I remember as I got out of the car, and I'm in a tank top, and I'm driving a white Jag, right? I get out of the car, and as I go and I walk into the gas station, I start my knees start getting wobbly.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm walking like I'm kind of like fucking, I don't know, dude. Like I got something wrong with me, right? I'm sitting there and somebody else is in line, and I'm starting to breathe, bro. I'm starting to get really fucking hot, dude. Really hot. And I'm starting to take retreal big breaths in, deep breaths, right? I tell the guy I want cigarettes. He gives me cigarettes. I walk, and now I'm walking almost like a retard to the car. I get myself into the car, and I go to put the key in the ignition, and my hand is doing the fish. I can barely get the key in the ignition, but I get it in, start it up. I lower all the windows. I hit the air conditioning on blast,
max,
and now I'm pouring. And I'm taking these huge, my lungs are just I'm taking these huge, and I'm like, fuck. And I remember driving off, and I got to kind of where the alley is, and I remember just hitting the brake, and that was the last thing I remember. The next thing I know, I wake up in ICU in UCLA, and I've got a decatheter, I've got a tube down me. I'm like, I don't really know. I'm starting to hear things, and I come to, and it's a real weird experience, bro. I could hear my sister and my ex-wife, and I wake up, and they're fucking there, and I come to find out that when I was there, where I had stopped in the car, some lady saw me, and she thought that I was having an epileptic seizure, and I was foaming from the mouth. She called 911. So supposedly, 911 got there, and what they had told me was, yeah, we pulled you out of the car, you were foaming from the mouth. We instantly had to induce you into a coma because you were overheating. And they induced me into a coma and got me to the fucking UCLA and put me into a coma for 6 hours, brought my temperatures all down, and I had woken up out of that. And I remember I wasn't even up. Finally my ex-wife and my sister left. I told them, go, everything's going to be fine. They're like, you're going to be all right. And it was already a day later. And I remember, man, I was like, I got to go. And they're like, no, the main doctor's got to see you. And I'm like, I got to go. Is there any law against me just leaving right now? Well, no, we can't. And I remember ripping the fucking IVs, everything out. Where's my phone? I was like an asshole. These people just saved my life. Where's my phone? You have to sign here. I signed the fucking thing. I'm calling my buddy. I'm out there standing in front of UCLA. Yeah. And I got a motherfucking robe on with my ass showing, or my cell phone or plastic bag. Come pick me up. And I remember, man, I copped another 6 hours later.
Yeah.
I had to get some dope in me, man.
Oh, yeah.
Those ODs, man, and that shit just, it scares you for a second, and that's it, man.
Well, that's an insanity. That's the insanity of this fucking thing that we got. Right. Where I remember there was a period where I got really into G, where I knew this dude that just had G, and I was trying to come off dope, and he would come
GHB?
off. Yeah, GHB.
Right. Run it down to me. I need to know.
Yeah, but he had GHB, and then he had this other shit.
Right.
I don't remember the name of it. I think it was called Farinol, which it was, huh?
Fentanyl.
No, not fentanyl. Farinol or some shit like that, which was a pure version of the GHB, and you could drink it.
Really?
You could drink it, but you wouldn't go down. You wouldn't be there, but you wouldn't go down.
Huh?
And he'd come over and he was a junkie and I was selling dope, and I'm trying to get off the dope and he was like, oh, this is what I kick with, he's like, try it out. He'd be like, here, just shoot me, shoot me a gram or two and I'll give you and he'd give me like one of those like little fucking water bottles, like the small ones, full, and a cap, and he'd be like, just do one cap,
Right.
And I'd be like, I'm just gonna do one cap, but then I'd be like, well, I don't want to I'm going to do one cap, but I'll do like a Gatorade cap, so it's like three regular little caps,
Exactly.
So I do it and whatever, and the entire time I'm like tweaking, and I'm doing so, and I'm like, and I think Hassan was talking about this, where he was like, Hassan. Right? Yeah. So he was like, there's like the indoor tweakers and then there's like the outdoor tweakers.
Right.
And I always had an indoor to go to. I wasn't like but I was an outdoor by habit, where like I would like the second I get it in, like a good one in me, I want to go and see what's happening out there. Like people would want to like sit around and figure shit out. Like I want to go boost shit. I want to see what's going on. I want to go places, I don't fuck. Like who knows? Like I want to go on an adventure,
Right.
So I go, so I get out of the door and I walk, maybe like, I didn't even make it fucking, like my stepdad was coming over because he was helping me. I just got his pad in like Silver Lake, and he was like coming over to help me like mount a fucking TV or like do some shit around the house. So he's coming over with all these tools. I have all my like weird tweaker homies at the pad. So I need to like not let my stepdad see them there because then it's all bad,
Yeah.
But I'm like, I just need to get out of the house. I just need to go for a little walk. And I make it maybe like a block away. And I remember seeing like some stuff, like I would always like, I would see just like some like, just somebody took some shit out and they left it by the curb, and to me that's fucking treasure, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, and there was like some kids shit.
They're not throwing this shit away.
Don't they know what they have here?
Yeah.
And there was like I think there was like a Baywatch poster that was framed, like a kid's like mobile, and that's all I really remember was I just remember walking up and being like, oh fuck yeah. And going towards it, and like next thing I know, I'm like coming out of a like a blackout kind of thing, and there's like 5 or 6 paramedics standing around me, and they're like, "Sir, what's your name?" And I just remember being like, Daniel, like saying something, and then they're laughing, and I'm like, why the fuck are these fools laughing? Like, what the fuck, like, what's so funny? You're here. Somebody obviously called you here because this is a medical emergency.
Right.
Like, why are y'all motherfuckers laughing? They ask me again, and then like I go to answer, and like now I open my eyes, and I'm in the back of the ambulance, and I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to go here. I got shit to do.
Yeah.
And
I got a mobile.
Yeah, I got a mobile and a Baywatch poster. Pamela
exactly,
Anderson.
dude.
Need some repairs.
Yeah. And they're looking at me and they're like, what were you gonna do at Home Depot? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking like? Well, but I can't say it, They're like, oh no, they were like, what were you gonna get at Home Depot? And I'm like, what are you fucking thinking? Like, what were you gonna get at Home Depot? And I'm like, what the fuck are these people talking about?
Yeah.
And then I come out of it again, and now like I'm in the hospital.
So this is the G that made you like this?
This is the G.
The other shit.
Yeah. Well, all right. I didn't realize at the time.
Right.
So I get to the hospital and I'm hooked up to all the shit.
Oh,
and I
man.
fucking come out in an intensive care unit at fucking Kaiser, and I'm like, fuck, and they have
Intensive care.
yeah, and they have all my, and like they have the readings for everything. They're like, the what's it called, the report, and they're like, you got opiates, you have,
you got everything.
amphetamine, MDMA,
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
you name it, it was on that fucking list.
Yeah,
I think it was like there was probably some remnants of like this PCP like little phase. So it was like a list, I was like pages of it, and I remember like being like, fuck, like I really got to do something, I really got to like figure this out, And then like I'm just laying there and I got all the shit fucking hooked up and like none of my family's there yet. I'm like, fuck, this is bad. I really got it. And at that point I'd already like try to like get clean, for a little. I had like maybe I put together like 30, maybe 60 days, and I was like, I really got to get my shit together. This is fucked up.
Yeah.
And I remember them bringing me like one of those little cartons of fucking orange juice,
Oh, yeah.
Still like almost county style where it was like still frozen, fucked up, and like a ham sandwich,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh hell yeah, and I took and they took the thing out, out of like the breathing fucking thing out, and I take a bite of the fucking ham sandwich and I drink the orange juice and it hits me and I was like, wait. It was that GHB, and I was like, "Give me my discharge paperwork. I'm fucking out of here," And immediately, I'm like, "It's on and popping." I was like, "It's the G."
Yeah.
That was what fucked me
That's
up.
the
Like,
problem.
forget the rest of it,
Right,
And I remember being like, so relieved.
Why did that shit demobilize you?
What's up?
Why did it demobilize
That's just what it
you?
does. That's just
Oh,
it just takes. It's like
But wait,
you're
what
good. You're
happened?
good. You're good.
You were. They asked you about Home
The Home Depot. All right, so here's why. So my stepdad was coming over to take me to Home Depot to buy shit, and in my pocket I had a list of items of things to get at Home Depot. And I was so mad. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about Home Depot? I literally had a piece of paper, maybe even in my hand, that was
you were probably telling them, I'm on my way to Home Depot.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to Home Depot. Everything's cool.
Yeah, we good.
Those drugs are, but see, drugs like that are weird. Because like you know what you're gonna get from like a tweak, you know what you get from heroin, you know what you get from these drugs. Yeah. But when you start getting into shit like that, you're like, you don't even know what it really does to you.
Did you ever fuck with that?
I did a couple times with the cap stuff, and it was like ecstasy, and it was like in a party scene. But I'd never like casually sat back at somebody's house and drank that shit.
So
drug.
Last Christmas, we I help a guy in Orange County with these houses. Lucky, you know. I helped this guy. He's got 14, he's up to 12 houses now.
Yeah.
And one of the houses in Santa Ana, the guy died. There was a death, man. He OD'd. It was a Christmas Eve. He was shooting heroin in the bathroom, but when they searched his bed, they found the fucking GHB. Yeah. And they were in there doing shots of it. And then he went in the bathroom and shot some fucking heroin, and it then never came out. Yeah. And my assistant manager, the general manager, not I'm the assistant, but the general manager, actually, I was trying to talk to him, like, what's going on, man? He's like, man, I got problems, man. That guy died in one of the houses, Frank. You know, so
from shooting heroin on top of GHB?
They found the GHB when they went to his bed to check. They were up there in that fucking room, the 4 guys, this 4-man, there was a 4-man room, there was 4 guys, and they had the GHB, man.
Yeah.
So and I don't know. I don't think I have a test for the GHB.
No, you can't test. You can't test for it. There's no test for it. It doesn't show up on a UA.
That's why.
It doesn't. There's no way. You know.
Yeah.
It looks like water.
That was like the big fucking.
They called it the date rape drug.
Yeah.
Right. That was
it looked like water. You could put it in any kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they're doing with it.
Like anything. First time I had it was at a sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
First time I had it was at a wedding.
Right.
Someone gave it to me.
Man, you an OG. Why the fuck you fucking with some bullshit like that? Look at you now.
I want to hear about this. I want to hear about this.
This is like the early 90s, you know?
Oh, okay.
I was still young.
Yeah.
And they gave it to me in a little one of those caps that go on the top of medicine bottles.
Oh, right, right.
And a whole shit ton of us were there. Right. I was like, listen, I don't know what that is. All right, fine. And the next thing you know, I was just like on the other side of the fucking room. Like 4 hours later. Just like, you guys having a good time? I was like, what's up? No fucking clue what happened. I had a nice night. Anyway.
What drug gave you the worst trip you've ever had, Lucky?
Yeah, I mean, I had some definite. I say to this day, I was at Jimmy Jam's house,
right,
and Spooks has come over,
right,
and we smoked some good PCP, butt naked. This was that orange colored shit, dude.
That was probably pee.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man, you went like this. If in the bottle you go, and the whirlpool.
And it spins on its own. You just go like that.
It looks like the Wizard of Oz.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
so this shit was like this oranges. It was like that color orange on a sweatshirt, right? We dipped it.
Right.
We smoked it, and we smoked a whole stick, a whole Salem.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. He leaves with his girl.
Right.
Jimmy Jam is like, we're going to the nightclub, right? We're going to the nightclub.
Is this Jimmy Jam in N.A.?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to the nightclub. I'm like,
right.
I ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
So he takes off and he leaves me at his pad because I'm homeless at that point in time. I'm living on Jimmy's couch. Wow. He takes off. I'm at his pad over there in like La Mirada, Rockwood neighborhood.
Yeah.
By myself, and I'm really fucking high.
Yeah.
I mean, really high. And I remember like I had like a half a joint somewhere in a cigarette box somewhere.
Either gonna go 2 ways. That's
so
either gonna fuck him up worse.
And I find it, right?
Oh, horrible.
I go outside and I smoke this half a joint of some skunk bud, and it elevates the PCP high.
It fucked him up.
Beyond, bro, right?
Anything.
And I remember I sat down and it must have been somewhere. I know Jimmy left around 10 and it was maybe an hour later. So it was somewhere around 11 o'clock, bro. Wow. I'm sitting on the couch and I had an experience, bro. I can't explain it. Right. I was having a conversation with people in that living room.
Uh-huh.
I went somewhere
Right.
I was on a trolley car like they would have in San Francisco.
Right.
And people that had passed away, people I had seen were getting on and off. And we had gotten to, and I still can't put my finger on it. When it happened to me, I was able to almost explain it to Jimmy when he came home. But bro, there was an overwhelming feeling that everything was gonna be all right.
Right.
No shit.
That everything, bro. Like I had gone there. I came out of the thing feeling like I had figured out life.
Yeah.
Like I had been shown what happens to us or where we go, and it was all good. Like the joke's on us.
Yeah.
Like that's like I can't believe that I fell for this. It's all good. There's no way to fuck it up.
I had an experience
You
like
can't
that.
miss your mark.
Yeah.
Like I mean, really, and this stays with me to this day. I've never had an experience like that. And I remember when Jimmy came on, I was like, dude, I figured out life.
Yeah.
Like, I really did. But I have to say that with PCP, that was a real trip thing.
Yeah.
I also, and that wasn't so bad, but it was the biggest trip I've ever had.
Right.
Yeah.
I was speed got me on some way out shit where I was like wrestling with some demons I thought were there, like physically wrestling, weird shit like that. So that was pretty bad, and just some of the way bad luck finds you after you've been up for 10 days. And like everything starts breaking down and falling apart. But I would say that those are like the most extreme, but like just plain bad trip. I went on a rave with my buddy Luke once, and they were having a rave on Catalina.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And so and it was called Gilligan's Island. And this is back in this is like 91, 92.
Yeah.
And we get on the boat to go to Catalina. And at Catalina, at Avalon, there's a huge rave going on.
Yeah.
And you take the boat over. And on the boat, everybody's getting fucked up drinking. Yeah. And Luke, my boy, was dealing mushrooms and all shit. He had like an ounce of mushroom. Dude, we ate through like almost an ounce of mushrooms.
Wow.
That's a lot of mushrooms.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Way.
Yeah.
How many people?
It's like 3 people eating it. Dude, it's so much, bro.
What they call the heroic dose.
Man, bro. And then there was crumbs at the bottom and
Yeah.
heads at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I remember just taking
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
He's
The
like,
dust.
no.
The dust.
And
The dust.
oh, we get there, and I remember, maybe as we're
Right.
pulling up, everybody's getting off the boat, and I remember looking and going, like, what do we do? And he's like, you get off the boat. And I get off of what? Like, what? Like, they couldn't even explain to me how to get off the boat. And I sat down on the sand,
Right.
didn't even make it into the rave,
Yeah.
and nothing made sense.
Right.
And I really wasn't feeling high.
Yeah.
I was just confused and frustrated. And I wanted some alcohol or I
Yeah.
wanted some relief and sweet. It was just it was this being frustrated for 8 hours, not being able to figure shit out. And it was from mushrooms.
You just sat there in the same spot.
I just sat there in the sand, bro, until the sun came up.
Wait, right
Frustrated.
there where you get off the boat, right?
You get off the boat, everybody's hopping onto the sand and walking up. I just sitting there on the sand.
It's literally
whole
the
night.
harshest spot in Catalina.
Yeah,
right?
man,
Like
it was
you go
just
up.
horrible,
No,
man.
I totally get it. The first time.
There they
The
come.
choppers. The first time I took mushrooms was akin to that kind of an experience.
Right.
I won't go into the full. It's not nearly as interesting a story, but just had way too much with a bunch of kids who had followed the dead and had taken a lot of mushrooms. One who's still a very old dear friend of mine. And, took about 5-6 grams, and that's not as much as you guys did.
Right.
I mean, it's not. It sounds like you guys each had about 12 grams of mushrooms or something.
It was
crazy. I
way
don't
too
know.
much.
But whatever it is, I lost my bananas.
Yeah.
I fucking could not see a normal thing for a full work day.
Right.
There was a full 8 to 9 hour shift.
Yeah.
Where there was nothing that looked like anything that I'd ever been familiar with on the planet up until that point. The ground was just a swarming floor of static. I lost my marbles.
Yeah.
And it did put a little bit of that'll put the fear in you.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was just
I
so
was I don't know if
frustrating.
I fucking I hope I didn't break this thing.
I
you know?
feel like
But then I
if you
was
do
fine.
too much, you
No.
overshoot the mark, and then
Yes.
you don't get it. And that's I felt like if I would have done a couple heads,
Yeah.
then maybe I would have had a good time. I
Yeah.
did more than I needed to, and it obliterated any kind of
Yeah.
experience. But what I will say is that outer body experience that I had on the
Right. Was
PCP.
this- me too. I had that.
Okay. I had done so much PCP on a regular up into that basis. It was like a 2-month
Right.
time where I was smoking PCP almost every day for
Right.
almost 2 months. I remember, and let me tell you something. This was the last time I smoked PCP was this outer body experience at Jimmy Jim's.
Right.
What I can tell you is that for the next, honestly,
Right.
month to 6 weeks, every time I smoked any weed
Right.
or
It
even
would-
like
it
a
would-
cigarette,
Yeah.
it would come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
The PCP
Oh,
high,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I would be high. Like, all I'd have to smoke is a couple hits of
Right,
weed.
right, or even
And
a
the-
cigarette,
or even a cigarette, dude,
man,
would bring back-
would intensify that.
PCP.
Now,
That's how
I'm
people-
gonna tell you
I don't know why that is, but
That's
dude, it was
why.
fucked
I'm gonna,
up,
I'm
bro.
gonna tell you why. I got information on that.
And my equilibrium
Right.
was never the same. I could
Right.
never
Equal-
climb
yeah.
up on a ladder. Still to this day, something happened, dude. Like I
Yeah.
lost my sense of balance.
Right.
If ever I'm up too high, I just start getting dizzy, and it all came from that PCP.
So
trip.
let me
Fuck me up.
so now, all right, back when I was coming up, like when I was young in the hood, 1977, before I started doing prison time, right before I went to the youth authority, my older homeboys had some shit they used to sell in the neighborhood, right? And they said it looked like fucking crank.
Yeah.
It was called cannabinol.
Cannabinol.
Right.
Vago cocaine is
The
what we
fucking
call it.
cannabinol, man.
Oh,
And I'll
man.
tell you like this, man. So this cannabinol, man, I was scared of it because I did a little bit.
Yeah.
And when I did it, I was young, man. And I was already sniffing pain, stealing my mother's prescription pills, and taking these pills. So I snorted. They gave me just a little, man. And I snorted it, and right the same place I snorted it, I was there for like 4 hours. Like dude was
Yeah.
saying, like with that GHB. I was there, and I didn't want nowhere. I was like scared. Like I was fucked up, man. And what happened with me was, so anyway, as I started the first time I smoked the righteous Sherm. We called it Sherm. It was Sherman.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was $40 a whole Sherm. We were getting it from Shadow from Primetta Flats in Aliso Village off of one of the dudes that was running the whole show down there.
Wait, what year? What year is this?
This is in the
80s.
70s.
And it was
the PCP.
Yeah,
seven?
yeah.
and
this
it was
was-
$40 for
It's for a
one
stick.
Sherm stick.
Yeah, one Sherm.
God
Which
damn.
means like a full
was
dip cigarette.
250 for the gram and the
Oh,
bottle.
wow.
Now let me tell you something about the Sherm from them that was the outer body
That's
experience.
not cheap.
No, outer
Back
body
in
experience.
the 70s,
No,
that's like $120.
Because what happened was, as the 80s started taking place, like in the late 80s, what was happening with a lot of the water in Compton and the shit on State Street in East LA, all this water, what was happening was they were incorporating more chemical to it. It was kind of like what the meth is now from the time that the bikers had that P2 dope. How you call
Yeah,
it?
P2P.
Where they pay whatever that was. So now we see the meth because, like I tell people nowadays, the meth thing, like the meth epidemic is the homeless people you see on the streets of Hollywood and down on Skid Row. Now, this is what has the people homeless, bro. That drug is actually taking, because it's not dope. Like I tell these guys, like when they come into the program, I let them know the meth is fucked up. They're either not putting something in, or they're taking something out, or they're not putting something in.
yeah.
It's vice versa.
You know what it is?
What is it?
This is my theory.
Right.
And you're absolutely
Right,
right.
right.
It's made in these super labs in Mexico.
Right.
right.
They're mass quantity, like they're
Mass.
doing a chicken.
Yeah. Well,
They're-
when
right.
everybody in Covina, when they would make
Right.
it, you know the little pH test you use in a pool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah,
slips.
yeah.
Excuse me. Well, when you would get done making it, like they would test the pH level in it.
Right.
And so I can't remember the numbers, but let's say a guy's is 11 and a woman's is 7, right?
Sure.
Most of the people who made it were dudes.
Right.
And they would get it closest to their pH level.
Wow.
But yeah, I had one. My friend Diane made it, and she would have it like right in the middle. But if you ever notice, I don't know if you do, like back when I was doing speed, like I would see like women mostly go into psychosis.
Right.
And it dawned on me, I'm like, that's that fucking pH levels off.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's probably what you're
The
talking,
pH level is off.
because it's way out that shit that they're doing now.
Right. So I
Oh,
went
I
in.
go
So
straight into psychosis.
Yeah.
When I
yeah.
use
So
it.
it's
Keith
so
is,
it's,
There's no
Keith's
more
been
high
pitching
time.
this pH.
does that mean
You've
it's
been
like
teaching-
stronger,
Huh?
or it's
No, it's shittier. It's dirtier, like
shittier,
you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
It's not from what I understand.
The
from what I've
yeah,
heard.
yeah, they're
Number
not-
one, it's $200 an ounce. It's dirt cheap.
It's-
Right,
It ain't
right,
shit.
right.
Yeah.
Cheaper than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So like they're getting it for nothing. Like it was unheard of back when we were
Right.
like
No.
So cheap. That's what people are getting.
Yeah,
now.
we were like, you had to pay big money for it. A point was it? No, it's nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this out
The
of
pH theory.
right,
Yeah.
the
Keith
pH
Wager.
theory, man.
I love it. I love it.
I
so
think
much.
it's
I'm
beautiful.
telling you, that's what it's like. What
That's
like
so-
I'm saying, them Hollywood motherfuckers are like, oh, like seeing shit. I'm
Right.
telling
It
you.
used to go when I first started using it.
Yeah.
When I first started, there was I want to say there was like a 48-hour to 72-hour window
Yeah.
of me going on a run that I wouldn't be
Tripping.
on the windows tripping with
No,
them
you wouldn't be
after.
tripping.
I'd be high.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it slowly started to come down.
Right.
Maybe that's just the use of the
No, it
drugs
takes
as well
20
or whatever.
after 12 hours. It starts to set in that
Well, now, though,
you see the fucking
You
shit.
hear the helicopters.
Yeah.
They're coming.
You see-
You see-
Yeah.
Well, the last time that I
Right.
used,
right. Oh,
I got high, and within an hour,
you were tripping.
See, that's the pH level.
boarding up
fucked up.
everything.
Yeah.
They're after me, and
You were
on-
boarding it
Yeah.
up?
There was no fun. I was
Nothing.
spending 2 or 3 days running from the cops. That's
Yeah.
and really believing they're there.
Yeah.
And,
I had one time I gotten out and there was a guy named Bob. Somebody while I was in the joint, somebody had taught Bob how to make it. Prior to that, he was just a tweaker. And I mean that shit's all so dark. You know, he was like making it in his house. He lived in with his grandma and shit.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, he did it and I went to my partner's pad and he had it.
Right.
And we did that shit. And it's the only time ever outside of being up too long,
Right.
you know? It's the only time ever I did it and immediately was fucking doing like the Morse code on the blinds. You know, and I even knew. I was like, I would get up to look out the blinds and I was like, this is fucking
Yeah,
ridiculous.
this is something
You know what I
wrong.
mean? Yeah.
The Conversation starring Keith.
Yeah.
No, dude.
It was.
Right? Like when you're just like, hello, who's out there?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, I mean, for fucking hours on end, peeking out it. With her in a room full of people, not even by myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just up and down, like wearing the carpet
and
down.
audio and visual. I mean, I would look out the peephole
Yeah.
and I would
Yeah, you see what
a line of dudes
Yeah.
in full SWAT gear.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I hear 4,
Yeah.
3, we're going in, 2,
Yeah.
1. And I remember a couple times I just was like, fuck it.
I'm
I
opening the
threw
door.
the door open
Right.
Yeah.
and there's nobody in the hallway.
Yep.
And I closed it and I thought for sure they're jumping into the rooms whenever I open the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I close the door, they're back out there.
Yeah.
And I thought, and I start playing this game like they're jumping in and out. They're hiding
yeah.
from me. But listen, dude, I was I was in Santa Monica and I had like maybe 17, 18 months
Right.
clean.
Right.
I was living up on 7th and California.
Yeah.
Right below Montana.
By the church?
Yeah,
By
that
Cat
nice
Mountain,
place.
St.
Yeah,
Monica?
by St. Monica.
I used to live over there too. Yeah.
So I had
by
a
the
place there,
park.
bro, and this
Yeah.
is like this is 2000.
Right.
I want to say 2011.
Yeah.
And I was doing well. I had
Yeah,
gotten
yeah.
into a nice apartment.
Sure.
I had some time clean. I'm building Young and Reckless. I relapse, right? And that relapse takes me down, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
But on the way down, I remember I had been up for like maybe 4 or 5 days. And my living room faced the street.
Right.
And I was about maybe 100 yards from the intersection of California and 7th, all right? And this
Yeah.
is the north side of Santa Monica.
Right,
Yeah.
Right below Montana.
The nice
Yeah,
shit.
Jane
Yeah.
Fonda lives like 5 blocks out.
I'm in a
Jane
beautiful
Fonda's house,
apartment. Every time I come home and
Right.
leave, people are looking at me like, who is this guy?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah,
And I've been up and I'm looking out the windows,
yeah. Right.
and in every car, and it's like 11 o'clock at night. In every car, there's people in the car
Yeah.
Yeah.
looking right at me. And I'm like,
What the-
now all the windows and all the apartments, there's people like peeking out, looking, and like the whole street's looking at me, right? I'm so high that I start seeing like the streets closed off and they've got like those little blinking yellow light stands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking down the street, the street's sealed off. Now I'm seeing people like parading around.
Yeah.
And it's all taped off. And now I'm seeing like the Channel 2 news team truck.
Yeah.
Like, the whole
Right.
city
Yeah.
is focused, and they got the cameras all waiting for Steve Luciano because he's being a pervert in his house, right?
That's
News
fucked up.
channel, SWAT. I mean,
That's fucked up. Right?
Yeah.
Bro.
Fuck.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm about to be like, I'm going to be all over the news, and
Yeah.
they're all waiting. I think I start hearing him saying,
Yeah.
Come out, Steve. Like I'm
Yeah.
having, I really,
Sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
it's gnarly, man. It was the gnarliest one that I had,
Right.
and so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go give myself up. I'm gonna turn myself
Right.
in.
Yeah.
So I go into my room. I fucking put on some underarm deodorant.
Yeah.
I put on brand new socks,
Yeah.
brand new pants,
Yeah.
brand new tennis shoes,
Yeah.
brand new T-shirt.
That's a
Right?
good one. Yeah.
I have some cash on me. I shove it in my pocket. I put on a North Face jacket
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a Raiders cap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I'm going to go down to the county, at least I'm going to have this jacket. It's going to
Yeah,
keep me
you
warm
know,
until they
yeah.
take it from me, right? The holding cell. I'm going to have brand new shoes that I get
I got
to keep,
money
right? I
on
got
my
brand new
books.
Right. I'm
some
making sure
money.
I got everything right. And I'm
Right.
like, all right. I smoke a
Yeah.
cigarette.
Yeah.
I open up my front door and I come off my front door steps like this,
Yeah.
backing down.
No way.
Backwards. I got nothing. I'm looking. And I'm standing in front of my apartment. It's like now 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm going, I don't have any gun on me. I'm not armed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So take me in.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you want me to? And I go and I get down on my knees
Yeah.
because I'm thinking they're telling me to get down.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these cars. There's people in all these cars. Detectives in the cars. Surveillance scouts. And I remember, and I'm on my knees, and my pants are starting to soak.
Yeah.
Get
Right,
wet
from the grass.
dew on the grass. I'm like, and slowly, like I'm starting to come down a little bit, and like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where I don't know how long I'd been frozen. My arms are getting tight. I'm like, fuck it, they're gonna shoot me, but I'm putting my fucking arms
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and as I get up and I look over to the car, I realize there's nobody in this one car. That I
Yeah.
was sure
Yeah.
there was like 4 people in
It's
there
empty.
watching with cameras.
It's empty.
Dude, I start looking around and like all the things that I think I'm seeing as I'm walking up to them, they're not what I think I'm seeing, right?
Yeah.
And as I'm going to the street and these blinking lights, there was like 2 of these things because there was like a hole in the street.
Yeah.
There's no trucks. There's no cameras. There's no nobody. There's just a little old lady like watching me the whole time, dude. Like, what the fuck is this dude
going
doing?
on? Yeah.
And I remember like the relief of like,
Yeah.
dude, they're not. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm not going to fucking jail, man. It was like, you know,
Fuck.
go back in the house. But it was like, oh, that meth, bro. Just horrible.
Yeah.
And I wonder about this because when you're going through stress levels like that,
Yeah.
your body doesn't know that it's not happening.
Right.
It's going through everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's under that stress.
Right.
And I remember going for days on end,
Right.
dodging motels, going to other motels, going home because they're on me.
Yeah.
Hell, they're on me. And the amount of stress that I'd put on myself for,
Cortisol. Just cortisol.
oh God, man. And then not giving yourself any water or
Yeah.
liquids or
Yeah.
food. Just
You're
like
not drinking-
all
you
of it
can't
on
even
top
drink
is
water.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, that shit, the worst shit was really, meth was really like the worst.
It's the fucking
experience
dude.
the
ever.
worst.
I was fucking. It was broad daylight, and I'm off the 10 freeway. There's this exit called Holt.
Right.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
where
know
it is.
Holt.
And I get off.
That's
at,
the whole stroll.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
in
you're talking
Pomona.
about Holt and Pomona.
Oh, that's in
I'm
Pomona,
there's
yeah.
a different Holt and
Oh,
Covina.
okay,
It's
all
kind
right.
of the same thing, but I'm driving down the street and I have this music blasting and I'm fucking high as fuck, right? And I'm on fucking SSU parole by this
Yeah,
time and
that's
shit,
just-
right?
Yeah.
And I'm fucking driving and I have the music super loud and I'm like, fucking, I'm literally like, I feel like I'm on top of the world. And then I look in the rearview mirror and there's fucking a shitload of cops, motorcycle cops, shit, lights, blast. I'm like, oh my God, how long has they been following me? And I fucking
Right.
pull over and fucking like take the keys out and put my hands up.
Yeah.
And then all of them pass me. I mean, my heart's fucking racing.
Yeah.
And they all passed me. And I was driving by the forest lawn there and it was a funeral
Right.
procession.
Oh, no, bro. Nightmare.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
You have any good paranoia ones, Lefke?
Well, when my mother was on the deathbed, man, she went into the stroke in the NA meeting
Yeah.
over there on Hayworth and Melrose.
Yeah.
Right at the Tuesday afternoon meeting, man, she goes into a stroke. So what happened was I had already had my son. My son was 3 months old,
Yeah.
and I had and you know, me and my girl were like on the shaky, you know. It wasn't really like shaky at that point, but what had happened was I had relapsed.
Yeah.
Right, I had went out and got high, and then my mother, my girl's like, "You got to go back," because what happened was when I got with my girl,
Yeah.
I did a violation in Ironwood. I had gotten in some problems and did the violation, and then what ended up happening was that was the last time I was in the penitentiary. It was 2008.
Oh.
So I haven't been back since 2008. I gave the number up, and then my son was born in 2000. Still, I had just got with my girl then, and then I had got out of Ironwood, and I had a little turmoil with my girl. I couldn't stay clean and sober over there in Orange County with her.
Yeah.
And plus, the parole didn't want me to move to Orange County. He didn't care if it was fit. He wanted me in LA. So I went to a sober living up there on Highland Park.
Yeah.
Wayne, did you ever know Wayne?
Is it the sober living right by the train tracks?
It's on Roselawn.
I don't know if I know Wayne.
You didn't know Wayne?
Maybe.
He drives a motorcycle.
I know Wayne. I know
Yeah,
fucking
Wayne.
Yeah.
Wayne had that house up there in Highland Park, man, and I went.
Paranoia story.
I'm going to go over there. So I'm coming. Hey, wait for it. So what happened was my mother went in the stroke, and I moved out of the sober living, and I went into my mother's apartment because she's in the stroke, right? She's on the deathbed, man. So she's in Cedars-Sinai. So I went from, I got in the apartment. My girl was like tripping out, and I'm like, I have to go from Cedars-Sinai from my mother's house, on Fountain and Laurel, down to Cedars-Sinai. It's not far at all.
Yeah.
So I'm right in the vicinity. So I get in my mother's house, and I come off a relapse. I had 2 weeks, and I the third day I went down and got high.
Yeah.
So I started getting high in my mother's house, and I'm supposed to be holding down her house while she's having the stroke.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm in there, and I get a little bit of dope, and I'm really trying to push my girl and my son away. My son's 3 months old. He's just 3 months. So I'm fucking shooting dope in my mother's house. I start going on to go. Estevan came. That's around the time when Estevan came. It was like 3 weeks. I was already on a good fucking high in my mother's house.
Right.
I had money. I was working on. I did I was doing work under Central Casting.
Yeah.
Right. I was doing a lot of there. So I would call the number.
Yeah.
And they would go, we need a tattooed gang member to show up. So I'd go. I worked on that Casa Mi Padre, Will Ferrell movie up in Chatsworth. So I was working, doing the movies.
Yeah.
On the side to keep money in my pocket and collecting the GR,
Yeah.
Right? So I had money, I wasn't relying on my girl. I was trying to hustle.
Yeah.
Doing the little fucking Central Casting thing. So what ended up happening was, I was doing so much heroin that I called my homeboy in Southgate, and he said, "Yeah, come down, man. I got you." I went down there. He went in the rafters. He pulled out a pound of meth. He pulled out a few fucking AK-47s. He's like, "I got straps if you need them, OG. I got you." One of my homeboys from my neighborhood living in Southgate. Probably doing some shit for his family's from Sinaloa.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's got fucking a pound of meth. He's like, "How much do you want, bro?"
Yeah.
I'm like, so he loads me up, take it back to my mother's house. I'm off and running, man. So I did the meth, was freaking me out, fucking me up, bro. And then I remember it, my mother went into the stroke October 8th.
Yeah.
So Halloween in West Hollywood.
Oh, shit.
Halloween, and I'm up. I've already been up for 2 fucking weeks. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking people are knocking on the door, but I looked outside and motherfuckers were all in the bushes. They were up and down. It was like fucking, the only thing, they reminded me of New Orleans when they have what is that shit
Mardi
called?
Gras.
The Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
It was Halloween. It was a Mardi
Yeah.
Gras. So I fucking
Black the windows.
I had to do everything, bro.
Yeah.
I'd even go out and look in to make sure. I got my mother's dog going crazy. She has a little French bull in there. He's looking at me like I'm tripped out. He already knows, he's tripping too.
Yeah.
So, I'm fucked up. I'm doing, so then I'm fucking around the time, Lucky said, when he got on his knees and he went through that situation, I go to the side of the pad. I open the door and I look, and I swear, man, there's fucking gang members all on the side of the house.
Yeah.
And there's a hyena, and they're fucking hugged up. And I'm like, what are they? Because, you're consciously, you're like, and then there had been a dude, so I already knew one of the dudes from 18 knew where my mother lived because he was next door.
Yeah.
Fucking this one cat. And then I was like, so I probably was tripping on that.
Yeah.
That he knew I was there. So he sent these fools from 18 over.
Yeah.
So I was seeing these dudes from 18. I was hallucinating, bro.
Yeah.
I had been up for 2 weeks. No water, no sleep, just E&J,
Yeah.
heroin, and fucking meth. And I'm fucking at it. And I remember I had a ball of that shit and in plastic. And I remember it was probably good it happened because I was tweaked out and I was trying to put it in in my mother's like shit and what, because I need to hide it, right? So I was trying to put it in a pocket and I thought it hit the pocket. And it fucking fell to the floor. So like a few hours later, when I went to get some more, I got my hand in the pocket. Now I'm really tripping because the shit's on the floor, and I know I put it in the pocket. Yeah. So I'm fucking like that's gone. Like there's nobody been in the house.
Yeah.
Like you hid it somewhere else. You hid it from yourself. So now I'm worried that these gang members are there. I'm saying, so you know what I do? I do the next best thing. That motherfucker that's like tripping, thinking that he's gonna get killed. That the whole house is surrounded by 18th Street gang members. I called the fucking West Hollywood sheriff. Yeah. I got the sheriffs there.
Oh, hell no.
I'm like, hey, they surrounded the house.
Oh, no. A cartoon.
Yeah, hey, they're here. Like their gang members are outside. Like they got guns. Like I can see them going up and down. Like I kind of. So then what I do is I'm looking like I'm trying to look out the window and I see these fucking sheriffs like going up and down the street, right? And I'm like, so then I don't see them coming in, but they're knocking on the door and I look through the thing. So I let them in and I'm explaining to them my mother went in the store and they're looking at me like, yeah, well, we already, we did a fucking a perimeter and there's nobody out there. And the next time you call us, we're going to take you to jail.
Oh, shit.
They knew I was
really.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Damn.
I fucking shut all the doors, man. And after they left, I got that feeling like you did. That I had got that feeling like there's nobody fucking out there.
Yeah.
And it was that relief, that fucking relief that it was all right. And then when the sun came up, in the morning, the sun came up, and I felt good. I took the dog, let him go pee because he was tripping.
And you did another linea.
No, yeah. Oh, listen. So then I went back there, and I'm like, fuck, man, I know that because I didn't know where it was. So I start pulling everything out of the closet, and I seen the bag laying there on the floor. And, yeah, I did another line.
Of course.
Of course.
Dude, I
gotta
go ahead.
Yeah. I gotta quit because between you and your stories, they kind of combined were like just fucking remind me. It's crazy because we'll be sitting here and like we'll be saying some shit and like a few episodes back I was like, fuck, I'm gonna run out of stories and then like what are we gonna do then? They're gonna replace me, because my head starts I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do? But like shit just keeps popping in,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's so
They're
many.
endless, I think, when you're
So I got a quick one.
Yeah, do it.
So I was like a graffiti kid, and I grew up in Hollywood and whatever, and I got into meth at a pretty young age, and I did it from when I was like 15 to 17, and then my little brother was born, and I stopped, like, because my mom, like, I told my mom I'd come to the hospital. She was like, I know you're fucked up. I know you're a fucking mess, like, but please be there when your brother is born, And I was like, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. But you're on your way to the hospital, and I'm like, but I need to just get right so I can get there,
Yeah.
So I go and I fucking stop by my homies and whatever, and then I'm like, well, fuck, this meth's stronger than I thought. So then I had to go, and like I'm fucking, I'm 16 at the time when my brother was born, and I had to go and like get so now we had to go drink, but I can't buy alcohol, so it was a whole thing. So man. I end up at Cedars because I promised my mom I'd be there. I show up, I'm like, what room is Yelena Masenko in or whatever, and they go, she checked out 3 days ago, and I was
no
like,
way.
Fuck, so I missed like it was fucked. But right around that time, I was, so I was a graffiti dude, and like we went down one night to go paint the LA River, and like I'd been down there before, but this was like, fuck. So what year? I mean, like late 90s, so it was still pretty active down there,
right?
It was still pretty active.
Yeah, it was still cracking.
Yeah, it wasn't like gentrification wasn't going nowhere near downtown.
Right.
And we went down there and we painted, and I was like, fuck, like, and like the first time I did meth, one of my favorite things about it was like how good my graffiti got all of a sudden. I was like, my can control's way better, I could like do some intricate fucking weird piece, that looked like trash looking back at it, but in the moment I was like, this is so sick, like this is so good. And we went and we painted and we're leaving, and like we had like maybe like some scrap cans left in the bag, and we're walking down. We were like kind of like walking back towards like maybe by 7th and Alameda somewhere,
right.
Like kind of by like right by the Greyhound station,
Right.
We're walking,
Yeah.
and we're like, fucking, let's do the rest of this meth, we chopped up some rails, and we do, we do it, and we get to And like we're walking and we just hear fucking sirens, you know? And like we started hearing it. And it was like me and a few homies. So we knew we weren't tripping, you know? Like we all look at each other and we look back and it's like, I don't know, maybe 10 units or something, you know? And they're getting closer and closer to us. And we're like, fuck.
That's Central Division.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we're like, fuck, this has to be for us. You know, somebody called in that there's all these fucking white boys down here spray painting shit, you know, whatever. Like, you know, and they pull up and like, right. And we're kind of like, all right, let's stand on the side. We'll make it look like we're using a payphone or something, you know, like having a something. So it's not, you know, like maybe it's not for us, you know. And they literally pull up right next to us and they stop and they're like, don't go anywhere, you know, put your hands up, don't, you know, and they're like through the loudspeaker.
Right.
Really?
And we're like, fuck, looking around, we're looking at each other, you know, so we're like, fuck, all right. And we, you know, we put our hands up. Same kind of like you know, like get on, they don't even tell us get on you, you know, get on your knees, but we get on our knees and we're like sitting there. And time's going by, you know, and like you're getting sweatier and like, why aren't they coming for us? You know, and they're there, you know, there's actual fucking cops there. And we look over at some point, we look at each other and we look, and there's a car, like an old beater, like maybe like an 84 Maxima or something, parked right in front of us. So they were pulling these motherfuckers over, but we thought it was for us, of course, you know?
No way.
Yeah. So we got to look at each other, like, so we get up and we're like, oh, fuck, you know, like, what are they thinking, you know? What are they thinking the whole time they're seeing us?
Yeah.
And it was like a car full of paisas, you know, that were like just getting pulled over for God knows what, you know, and they're just having them up. But it was like in that moment, that relief where it was like, fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Because when you're on it, the world is revolving around you.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Everyone's out to get you. Everyone, you know, anybody looks at you, oh, that motherfucker's got beef.
Yeah. It's crazy, bro.
It's fucking crazy. That drug is
it's the devil, bro.
I mean, the fentanyl shit's killing everybody, but the meth is the shit that creates the biggest fucking monsters. You know what I mean? Like, people
It's
just
the
fucking
chaos generator.
It is.
It's a confusion chaos generator.
Because I think I already told it, but similar story to Lepke's. Sorry, is I was in Glendora, which is like.
Did you call the cops?
No.
Oh wow.
But we were in.
On yourself.
This is right before I got sober. But I was at this house and I'm trying to remember where this fucking dude was from. I think he was from the Maravilla, like the Mariana or something. Yeah. But he had moved out to like Glendora. But
that's an old neighborhood.
Yeah. But this dude, he was cool as fuck. But my friend lived in these apartments, but it's weird. It's like you take a little small street off of like Route 66, and it's only like, you know, fucking probably 70 feet, you know what I mean, up this little hill. And the only thing there is this little apartment building, two little ones. There's like, I'm going to say 8 units, like 4 and 4. But my friend lived there and we were doing our thing and shit. And then I met the neighbor, this essay. And, you know, I was like 27. He was probably like 35. But, you know, it's one of those things. It's like this out of the 8 apartments, like 3 of them are fucking, you know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody's doing speed in one of them. Yeah. And we're up there and we're fucking around and, we're standing there, and literally it's like one way in, and it's the same way out. You know what I mean? But me and the essay are standing out there, and fucking cops come pulling up. Right. And I'm on parole. I think he might have been on parole. So both of us are like, fuck, we ran into his pad, right? Well, the fucking cops come, and they're not, and I'm like, fucking, I'm in the master bedroom of his pad. You know, he lives with his wife, and he might even have a kid, but I'm like, fucking looking, and I had this ball of speed, right? And I'm looking, I'm like, fuck. And I just threw it as hard. Did I already tell this? I threw it as hard as I could into the closet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you did.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, but it's similar to Lepke's. I threw it as hard. I didn't know. I just turned and I threw it as hard as I could into the closet. Well, right when I fucking released it, I saw something out of the corner of my eye, and it was a cop looking through the window.
Wow.
And I'm like, fuck. They pulled the essay out. They pulled me out. And before they pulled me out, the cops in there looking like, they got my hands up and shit, and they're looking through the closet. And I'm telling you, I just fucking threw it with all my might in there, right? And I'm just standing there. I'm like, man, I am fucked. You know what I mean? And like, they're searching and searching. They take me outside. They're still searching. But I'm like, well, they're going to fucking find it. I mean, I threw it in the closet. Dude, and he saw me throw it. And it wasn't like the whole closet was open. You know what I mean? It was like the one door. And he's like, sir, and he comes out. He goes, and literally the cop's so fucking mad. He goes, I fucking saw him throw it in there. Like, where the fuck is it? I go, I didn't have nothing. And he goes, Sarge, I saw him fucking throw it. You know what I mean? Like going crazy and shit. And I'm like, fuck. So they take me in, call my parole officer, and he kicks me out. Right? Like not that day, but like the next day. So I go back. They didn't take the essay. So I go back to his pad and I go, yo, I'm like, that fucking dope is in there. He goes, what?
Yeah.
I go, I'm fucking telling you. And dude, I walked right in there
Right.
and literally moved like 2 things
Right.
and it fell.
Wow.
Like
Oh, it stayed stuck in something.
it was just being held together by like some hanging clothes.
wow.
I'm telling you, like
Yeah.
less than 5 seconds and it
right,
fell.
right.
And we
yeah.
just- we
That's
went-
what happened to mine.
Yeah.
It was stuck.
Right.
I didn't know where it was. And
Yeah.
then finally, when I jiggled some shit around, it fucking, I seen it on the, I go, I didn't see it before.
Yeah.
After and I was like, oh, like I need this, like I need a hole in my fucking head. I just called the cops on myself. Like I do not need this.
Yeah.
Now.
I had this,
Right.
bro. I don't
Yeah.
know. Remember that at some point in time, after I got out of prison in 2000, and it probably wasn't that long after, they were like, I got out of prison. I was like, if I ever get caught with dope,
Yeah.
they're gonna double me up and
Yeah.
fire
It's
me,
bad
like-
right now for some
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Well, but this was back in like 2000, right?
Yeah.
And I relapsed in like around 2004. And I'm thinking in my head, okay, if I get caught with dope, I don't get a dope case like everybody else.
Yeah.
I got 2 strikes that I beat. I'm going to get like a 3-year and they're going to double it to 6.
Right.
Yeah.
Just on,
They're gonna
doesn't
have-
matter.
right.
Prison priors.
All that. So
Yeah.
I had this fucking angle, dog. And the angle was that I would buy this fucking, it was like you go to I'd always be getting porns at the sex shop, right?
Yeah.
Getting porn. But they'd have these fucking like, I mean, you've seen these, dog. There's these different types of dildos, bro. And they've got like a sleeve on them. Like a sleeve made out of that jelly.
Fleshlight? Wait,
No, no.
no.
It's like a vibrator.
Yeah.
And it's got like a sleeve on it that's like a cock. And like you can pull the vibrator out. And the vibrator's like a plastic hard banana.
Yeah.
But the sleeve goes over it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But the sleeve would look kind of like a cock, right?
Yeah.
So I would take the sleeve. I'd throw the fucking vibrator away. I'd take the sleeve, and the sleeve, you could pull it onto your cock, right?
Damn.
And you could have like an 8 ball
Oh, that's
of
genius.
dope in there, right? And when you pull it on, it would automatically like suction to you. You get what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
It's tight, right? And so if I went anywhere, did anything, if I got searched or anything, all they're gonna feel is what feels like your dick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that they're gonna like yank on your cock or
Yeah.
tell you to get naked. And I'm just thinking, if I get pulled over,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can take my shoes off, they're not gonna find that. You know what I'm saying? So I used to fucking keep this fucking sleeve thing, and I put my dope in there whenever I'd fucking roll around. I'd have this fucking thing. Well, when I would drive from place to place, I would use it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I remember fucking one night. This is when my mom was still alive. Rest in peace. And I go and I'm with Cisco from the neighborhood.
Right.
And we go somewhere. We do some transaction, and he gives me like a half ounce of glass, right?
Wow.
And I don't have anything, and I've got to drive from like Pico Rivera
Wow.
home.
That's,
And I've got a car with no tags.
that's a
nothing on it.
stretch.
Like, and I don't have that thing. And I'm like,
Right.
fuck. I could just hold it in my hand,
Right.
but they're gonna see me throw it out the window. You know? I'm like,
Yeah.
Fuck. And it's a lot. So I fucking go into the back seat, bro. And you know how like in the back seat of this car that I was in, they have like the middle thing out of the back seat that's
Yeah.
like a rest for your
Sure.
arm.
Yeah.
But if you push it up,
Right.
it goes into the seat, right?
Yeah.
I throw the dope in there. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just put it in there. I'm driving, sure enough, bro.
Oh,
I'm
fuck.
driving, bro, and I'm like a block from my mom's house.
There's no way.
Whoop, whoop. They pull me over, dude.
That's crazy.
And my mom lived right by Beverly Hills.
You're already home.
Already home, dude.
That's fucked
I
up.
actually pulled up, and the gate, the security gate, wouldn't open up quick enough for me to get in.
Oh, fuck.
So I'm right there, and the gates go, man.
Yeah.
They're already outside of their car.
Yeah.
Go step out of the car. Step out of the car. I step out of the car, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
And hey, do you have your registration? You know you don't have the.
Right.
And so they don't even ask nothing, dude. They're in the car, bro.
Yeah.
They're searching, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
And now the neighbors are coming out, and I'm like, dude, they're
Yeah.
gonna find this dope, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I can't believe I'm getting crack like this. And it wasn't even hit very good. It was just like as soon as you pop the thing out, the dope's popping out, right?
Right.
And sure enough, bro, they searched the fucking whole car, but neither one of them pulled that fucking
out.
thing out, bro.
Wow.
And I remember they're like, all right, you got to get this ticket taken care of.
Yeah.
And I was like, they had me sitting over here while
Yeah.
they're searching the car, right? And I'm just waiting for them to come over. I'm just waiting for that,
Yeah.
you know? And sure enough, he comes over and he comes over with the ticket. I need you to sign this. You're going to have to go to, I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
Word?
I parked the car and I just remember, dude, I was like, fuck, bro. That never happened to me.
Never.
Whenever the lights come on, I'm the dude going to jail.
Yeah, me too.
I always get cracked, bro. I remember me and Lemke were working a party in the Hollywood Hills.
Oh man,
And it's like this after hours, like
they were trying to
private,
strike me out
right? It's a private
for a
party,
line of
bro.
meth.
It's a private party, right? Up in the hills.
Man,
It's really nice. It's like a
Tell 'em
baller
who.
ass house like
Tell
this.
them
right?
what, we working for Filthy Immigrant.
Yeah, we're working
Is
for
he
this
still
dude.
working?
He's got this big house that
Right.
he's rented. Gonna do
I'll
after
post.
hours. And he's like,
Up
I
on
need a
Outpost.
couple homies like working the
Right.
doors. So I got me,
Right.
Spooky from Posers,
Man.
Lebke. So
Paulie,
we're like,
rest in peace.
Pauly B.
Shout out to Pauly B.
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
Oh,
So we're all gonna just run security, right?
Right.
Everybody.
We're up
Like,
there
we were
like
all
the third
strung
week.
out.
We've been doing it already.
Yeah,
like
dude.
The third week.
We're all strung out and shit.
Yeah, we're
and
all-
the place,
Tell them
place
what
is
they went.
bumping though, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Levels.
inches,
There's
everybody
5 levels.
there's party. It's like the Playboy Mansion
It's,
party,
it's
right?
called the Latin Quarter, the after
Yeah, the
hours.
Latin Quarter,
They're
exactly.
coming. He's shuttling them in after the club gets shut
Yeah,
down.
No
dude,
way.
They're making
Shuttling
money, dude. This
them in
place
out
is
of the
party.
van.
So this one night, and I'm
Guess
like
it.
the lead guy, you know?
Guess
So
it.
I'm like, Lebke, I'm gonna have you here, I'm gonna
Right,
have you
right,
here.
right.
And I'm kind of like cruising around.
Right.
Hey, man, we're upstairs,
Right.
and somebody comes down to me as I'm coming up the front,
Right.
and they're like, hey, man, Vice is here.
Yeah.
I'm like, Vice?
Yeah.
And as soon as they say that, I've got like a fucking
Right.
grandma mats over here.
Right.
I got some black. I hand the shit off to Rochelle.
Yeah.
And Rochelle just starts walking up the stairs.
Right.
I turn around to go tell these dudes.
I'm downstairs with the cop.
Right.
I'm the one. I'm
Yeah.
the one. They're telling me this fucker has a knife, man. So I go out there, right? I got the meth, like Cosweta,
Yeah.
for Spooky's old lady. I'm fucking nodding. They're like, "Hey, you're at the door. You're supposed to be working. You're nodding out." I go, "I need a fucking line." She's like, "I'm gonna hook you up. Stand this way." So she gets the record, the album.
Yeah.
They get the record, and like shit, and I'm like this, and she's standing this way, facing the door, and I'm sitting in the chair with the album, and she's like standing and hooking me up, right? And like we're trying to crush it because I can't do no fucking shot or nothing.
Right.
I'm crushing it, right? And I get the bill. I got the dollar bill roll. I do a big old fucking blast, and she stands up and she's gone. And so I took my cigarette pack. And she goes, "Here, I'm gonna give you some for later." I go, "Yeah, hook me up." So she gave me like
Yeah.
because I was gonna take it back to the hotel and mix it with my heroin and
Yeah.
do a goofball.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I needed it. So I remember putting it in my cigarette, my Marlboro pack,
Yeah.
and I put it in my pocket. And then like 5 minutes after that, they're saying, "Hey, go out there and talk to this dude, man. He's fucking has a knife." We searched him. No, he can't. No, he went. They searched him and he had a gun. So they came and they go, "Hey, this dude." So then when he came back again, they searched him and he had the knife. So they're like, because they told him, "Go put the gun in the car." He's a fucking cop.
Right.
He's a vice cop. He's a big motherfucker, Mexican dude. They tell him, "Go put the gun in the car." So he comes back with the knife. So they tell me. So I go out, they go talk to him. He's out, so he's standing, he goes, "What's the problem? I put my weapon in the car." I go, "Dude, you come to a fucking party with a fucking gun? And then they tell you to put it away and you come back with a knife? Get the fuck out of here." I tell him,
Yeah.
beat it. Get the fuck out of here. You fucking crazy. He goes, "So you're not going to let me in?" I go, "Nah, get out of here, man. I already told you." He goes, "Well, what's going on right here? What how come I can't get in?" I go, "Because you had the gun and they told you that." He goes, "Well, I put the gun away." I go, "Well, go put the knife away and I'll see if I can get you in."
Yeah.
$40.
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, I thought it was 20. I go, "Well, 40 now because you fucked up." It's a fucking LAPD, right?
Yeah.
So he fucking leaves. He goes, and all I know, they fucking rushed the whole fucking
Well,
thing.
yeah, because when they said that Vice was there, I literally turned.
Yeah.
It was the only time
They
I was
ran
smart.
in.
I handed
No.
this shit to the girl, and she walks straight out the front door of this party, right?
Yeah.
Before I can get down 3 or 4 stairs, the place is swarmed.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, bro, they've got
Yeah.
cops like this on you up against the
Yeah.
wall. They're searching everybody in the fucking party, bro.
Fuck.
Searching. Imagine how many people just have casual drugs in their body.
Yeah.
Bro, they arrested like fucking 20 fucking
Did
people
they
down
take
there.
20?
They've got him, Spooky.
Right,
They're
right.
booking all these guys. Fucking
Right.
little bits of like this and that. But bro, it's like, man.
That was
man.
when 9/11 got hit. This was whatever year that was.
2001.
That was 2001, because this was at the end of August or something. It was the ass end of the summer.
Yeah.
I went in there, man. I went to court on that. The fucking lawyer was like, "Man, they're trying to give you 12 years on this fucking thing."
For a line of crank.
Yeah, because it's third strike. They go, "You're a career
It's like
criminal."
you never expect for
Yeah.
Vice to bust in and you get busted with something like
Yeah,
small
yeah.
personal
Yeah.
shit
They were
on you,
trying to
dog.
give me, hey,
They
tell
fucking
them,
swarmed
I
that place.
fought that motherfucker tooth and nail.
Yeah.
In that LA County
And
jail.
Spooky went to the joint too.
I
He did like 2 years or something.
I fucking no, he got out.
Oh, he did?
They ended up releasing him. So what they did was they pushed a fucking card on me. Spooky and his old lady took care of me. They were there. They came and took care. They were like, yeah, they looked out for me. They went a few times and brought money. Stefan looked out for me. There was people that were looking out. And then I didn't get a lawyer. No, I didn't need a lawyer then. Wait, did my mother give me a lawyer? No, I don't. Yeah, I think my mother did. She fucking hired a lawyer, man.
Fucked up, bro. It was,
Yeah,
that was
she
lame,
had to
dude.
get a lawyer, like a lawyer from that program.
Oh, right.
Like a dude, like she went to a meeting.
Yeah.
And the fucking dude was like, hey, every Sunday, Saw Robertson's Original,
Yeah.
down there at 11:30, down on Robertson, they have
Yeah.
a meeting on Sunday. And my mother, so she kept going, and Timothy Landon, a high-profile lawyer that knew me that I used to talk to, we didn't even know he was a lawyer.
Yeah.
Talk about some fucking God shot.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, where's your son, man? Is he cool? My mother's like, they got him, bless you. He's fighting him. They caught him with some meth. He was working the door at a fucking private party up there and fucking behind the Comedy Store.
Yeah, it was
Right?
bullshit.
He was
bro.
ready, yeah. And then, so you know what he said? He goes, yeah, I'm going to go down there and talk to him. I'm going to do a favor.
Yeah.
I'm going to do you a favor. So he came in.
Yeah, take a break
Hey,
to grab. You
he
like to
fucking-
grab.
Yeah, he came in. He goes, hey, man, like, I'm going to help you out, bro. Your mother said she's going to give me a little retainer, but I'm gonna get you off. Fuck this cop. We'll get you off.
Oh, rad.
So they seen that I had the lawyer, that I wasn't gonna lay down, and and then he got him because I beat that case because of the fact the judge said that she felt that I was doing a service to the community if I was being at the front of the door checking people coming into the party and with no weapon. Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that a trip?
Fuck.
The judge goes, I feel he was doing the community a service. I'm going to throw this out.
No way.
Yeah, because you guys didn't have probable cause to go up there. They said, like, did you stereotype this guy? What made you want to go in there and fucking search him?
Yeah.
Like, he's standing on the property.
Yeah.
You're
Where
working.
he's
yeah,
working.
You're working a
Yeah,
job.
yeah. It probably was.
fuck
I mean,
yeah.
the way the whole thing went
Yeah,
down, it just
yeah.
wasn't right, dog.
The
you know?
judge fucking threw it. It took 6 months. It took me battling in the Hoover module, which you guys don't know. You like the Hoovers?
Yeah.
You ever heard of the Hoovers?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Hoover
the
Crips?
Hoovers were.
Yeah.
I fell in the Hoover module on that one. That's a whole nother story. The Hoovers don't
That's a
like
jail
essays,
story.
and they don't
No,
like
I
Crips.
know.
They don't like you. Like
They don't like anyone. Fuck.
They
They don't like.
don't-
Wait, they don't like essays and they don't like who?
They don't like Crips. There's certain Crips the Hoovers don't get along with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that happened. Like if you watch Kev Mack video, man, he's gonna run the whole history down to you. He has on the YouTube.
Oh, really?
He's got them dudes up there doing like he said those are good videos. Like you learn the history about how everything happened with the Hoovers and the Arlington, with Nipsey Hussle and Big U, and not to throw them out there, out of respect for you got a dude that does a podcast. He does the YouTube. His name's Kev Mack, and he's these are the brothers that did time in the joint. That are reputable.
Hey, bro, it's taking a toll.
Yeah,
The whole fucking thing is taking.
right.
I mean, don't get it wrong, bro. I'm grateful to be here.
We're grateful.
Yeah, but it is really like when you talk about the worry and concern of a
Right.
parent
Yeah.
Right.
hoping either that their kid doesn't die,
Right.
well, just short of dying,
Yeah.
all the other shit that can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Right.
put this post up a lot on my thing on my Instagram. I put it up
Yeah.
a couple times, and it's a quote that says, "Everything I was ever scared of already happened."
Right.
Yeah.
I really
a
feel
good
like
one.
I really feel like that, man. Like I feel lucky because
Right.
so many people that were standing next to me and that were in this fight just didn't make it.
Yeah,
And there were a
Spooky
lot of
got
dudes,
life.
a lot. Yeah,
He did?
bro,
Spooky
there's a
got
ton.
fucking life.
Spooky got
Like
life.
a lot of these guys that we're talking, like we're like
Polly
what
B fucking
what
hung
we're
himself.
bringing to the table, a lot of people haven't made it, man. They
Yeah.
didn't make it to the point that they should have made it to.
Yeah.
Like we're all here. It doesn't matter. It's not a financial thing at the end of the day. It's not a thing you guys knowing about the program. It has nothing to do with, I'm rich. I'm driving a fucking good car. It's like what God has gave me. My bills are paid. The lights are fucking on. There's food in the fucking refrigerator. I'm fucking drinking water. I'm healthy. I'm not fucking calling the cops on myself. I'm not in the fucking Uber module. I'm not in the gang module. I'm not bug dancing for the system. I'm off parole. I mean, there's the grateful list, man. My mother told me, she sat me down. She goes, you want to stay in this house one more fucking day? Write me 10 things you're grateful for. I couldn't write 2 or 3 things down.
Yeah.
Now I fucking sit down, man. That fucking list just goes, man.
There's plenty of motherfuckers that were way smarter dope fiends.
And they're not
bigger,
here.
stronger, more tolerant dudes that are gone.
They're gone,
like
bro.
Bobby from 18. Or like
a lot of
I
homies,
know a
man.
lot of big, solid motherfuckers
Right.
that shot dope for years, bro.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers knew what was up.
Right.
OD.
There was a dude I was in
OD.
Chino with. I don't know if you guys ever came. It's a dude Buffalo from. He was from Chino, weirdly, but we were doing a violation in Chino, and he's big. He's like Lepke size, big. Like big, healthy motherfucker. So
Right.
like he's the last dude I think's gonna
Right.
OD. He's just a
No,
big dude,
right.
and he paroled, and it was 4 days later,
Sure.
dude. They found him
Right.
less than a mile from Chino prison.
Stiff as a board.
Yeah, but leaning against the wall in front of
Right.
a liquor store, standing dead.
Sure. Dead, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy because like I'll be telling motherfucker stories, like of shit that happened, fights I got into, whatever shit that went down, and like I'll be telling a story and then I'll think about it after and I'll be like, fuck, every single other person involved in that story is dead.
Dead, yeah.
Every
I got plenty
single
like that.
other and like dudes
Yeah.
that were fucking way better fucking people than I,
Yeah,
that's the crazy part,
Yeah.
A lot of young dudes too, man. Like a lot of youngsters from the neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah.
19, 20,
Yeah, they're
like
trying
barely
to get
started getting into it, and
trying
they
to
just
get
got
right.
caught slipping, or just so many different things, bro. It's like to make it into your 50s
Wow.
after going, especially Lep, who got
Right.
shot 11 times. Dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I got shot at 11 times.
Yeah.
I got a ricochet on my ankle, dude,
Right.
but. To be shot that many times, the ODs, the this, the
Right.
that, the how many, I can count the times where I was like a minute before it went down.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
I left a second after
after
it did.
the
And there were
motherfucker
some
died.
motherfuckers
Yeah.
got killed, that
Yeah.
just, I don't know, man. So with all of it, dude, I guess, and that's part of like, I mean, me, Lep, Esteban, there's a group of us, bro, that are like honestly trying to like figure out ways to improve our health. And
Right.
like, we
Yeah.
got a late start to like the good life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got a late start to it. And it's like, I want to live. I want to experience some things. I want to enjoy the last chapters of my life here. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I'm trying to like save my body how I can and eat right and take care of what I got.
I'm 6 years into the halfway point, man.
Yeah.
I'm 56.
Yeah.
That's 6 years. And then these older dudes are like, oh, you still young, you still young.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't know what the fuck I did, bro.
Exactly, man.
Like, you
you
don't
know,
know
you
what
know,
the fuck
you know in your head, I
Yeah.
know what I put my body
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
Yeah. I do think there is something to say though for the clean living.
Right.
And I think of that all the time. I think of it when I see you. You don't look much older than when I met you.
Right.
You don't look 56. You know what I mean?
No,
like I don't
thank
look
you.
50. But I mean,
No.
like the clean living,
How
like
about this guy on the end?
About 45,
Yeah.
46.
but you're like
It's the beard.
Yeah.
when you're not like when you're not.
He's really 27.
yeah. See?
All
But
that
when you're
good.
not when you're not drinking and fucking doing harsh drugs, you do age better. So I think that clean living shit, like the
Right.
clean eating, can only help. And everybody seems to be doing it. Like all them UFC
Right.
dudes,
How
they're all
about the-
fucking.
How about the apple
the
cider
plant
vinegar?
Yep.
Are you
I ain't
familiar
never
with
fucked
that?
No.
I fuck with that. Like if I like I'm doing the green juice thing, that's another story. But if I don't have my green juice, I fuck with that apple cider vinegar.
You drink it?
Warm water in the morning with a fucking squeeze some lemon in that water, down it.
Yeah.
And I try to do 3 or 4 of those a day. I keep apple cider and vinegar in my system at all times, man.
Oh, good.
There's an anti-aging supplement.
Yeah.
You should look at the
Yeah.
mother, it's the one you get, the organic mothers, the apple cider mother. You know what's
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It has a little Jewish kosher thing on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I research that shit.
Have you ever seen a ghost, Lepke?
I don't know, man. Maybe. Yeah, I believe that some shit's past me, and
I seen him on I definitely seen ghosts on meth. and here's the thing: is that I don't believe that it wasn't. It was like I kept on thinking I saw some shit. I was like I thought I was wrestling with this thing this night, and there was some shit by the curtains at my mom's house, and I know there was something there, and I fucking grabbed my phone. And I start videotaping this area where all this shit's going on.
Yeah.
Well, then when I go back and look at it, I'm not seeing anything, but I start moving my finger across the speed. And when I slow it down
Yeah.
in slow motion, all these lights are spinning really quick in the areas where this thing was at. And I was like, I think there's shit going on
Yeah.
around that our naked eye isn't picking up, but
Yeah.
it really is there. And that's kind of like something that I just tripping off of, like, yeah, the meth. And I saw shit that I can't explain.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was on meth. I recorded shit that I showed to some people, and they're like, dude, I don't know what the fuck that is. Like, so I don't know, bro, but I think that in that.
That's a theory, right? They say that like some of the supernatural stuff is like recordings, right? Like it's like digital, almost like digital recordings, and that different houses and different inanimate objects can record these things, and that's why when you go into certain places that you experience them in some weird way again. Like how that works, I would have no fucking idea.
I believe,
but I would say, but you never know.
I believe if you empty this house and you're one person
Yeah.
and you sit somewhere in this house and you turn everything off and you dim some lights and light a few candles and you sit there long enough, something will pass through this house, man. I have that feeling. I really do. Just the way the setup is.
If I believe, if I
believe it.
simply,
Right.
Yeah.
if I believe that just. If I'm not retarded enough to think that if I can't see it, that it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
My eyes are not set up to see everything that's going on.
Right.
I can't see all the molecules that are holding this table together.
Right.
But it's really just, right? I can't see all the molecules and the shit that's holding you together, but it is.
Right.
I can't see God, and there certainly is a power greater than myself. Yeah. So I'm not going to be convinced that just what I see out of my eyes is that's the truth. No. I definitely know there's I've felt spirits come through me. Yeah. I've seen stuff that can't be explained and nobody can explain. Yeah. And I think that on some drugs and stuff, kind of like what's that stuff they take that
peyote,
not peyote, what's the other one? Ayahuasca.
Yeah. Wow.
I think that different drugs, even like the PCP, opens your mind to observe sometimes things that you would normally see. I don't think that whole thing, my experience on PCP, I don't think that was all just the drugs, bro. I think it brought me to a place where my mind opened and I experienced something. Because
I've seen it.
Still to this day in my heart, I know I was exposed to the truth. How I got there. Maybe the drugs helped me get there in some form or matter, but I definitely know there's more going on that I can't, just because I can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening.
I've had the sky part on me.
Yeah.
And have the Lord came right out of the sky on some PCP, the four cut shit.
Yeah.
I smoked in Cahuenga Park. My homies just lit it up. Like it was around the time when all the fucking water was good.
Yeah.
It wasn't cut with bullshit. It crystallized right when it hit the fucking the churn.
Yeah.
You dip it and it looked like a glazed donut. And they'd warn you, hit it. If you hit it more than 2 times, you might take your clothes off.
Yeah.
They would tell us. They would tell us, don't hit this more than 2 times. You fucking definitely start coming out of your clothes.
The dealers would say that?
I fucking no. My homeboys brought it from fucking the.
They would call it butt naked.
Butt naked.
Yeah.
So they brought. Listen. So I remember it was going around.
I got naked.
Because like he said, I was already used to smoking it.
Yeah.
And they fucking lit one up, and we were warned not to hit it. It was like 8 homies there, and they passed one around. And it went. I remember I hit it once, I hit it twice, and it came the third time. It was kind of small, and I pulled on that motherfucker. If I go, this is the last one I'm gonna do. I'm used to it. I won't trip out. And I pulled on that motherfucker one too many times. My third hit. And it was already a roach, so you know that was fucking good.
yeah.
And I got it in, and I didn't let it out quick enough, and I walked, and all I remember was I was on the ground looking at the sky, and Jesus was fucking parting the sky, and I felt him. Like I actually felt the presence of, like I saw God, man. It was God or Jesus with the hair, and came, and I fucking felt the like vibration and the feeling, and I fucking came out of it, and my pants were undone, and I was behind a dumpster, I'm like hiding. I fucking went and hid somewhere and woke up. That was
Some dude that was homeless that looked like Jesus raped him.
There was nobody there. My homeboys were gone. Everybody had took off. They probably went to Compton. Because that was the plan. We're going to hit this, and we're going to all head to Compton. The park was empty. It was quiet, and I was behind the dumpster, and I just saw fucking God.
Crazy.
And nobody was there. Everybody took off. And I fucking walked from fucking Coanga, and Santa Monica Boulevard. I walked all the way straight up to Fairfax and fucking Fountain, man.
Oh, fuck.
Because that's where my mother was living, up there by the, they had meetings in all those churches.
Sherm ain't no joke,
Sherm
man.
was-
PCP is like, that's one drug that
And,
you just
hey,
don't know what's going to happen,
but
man.
listen,
There's no way you know
Hey,
what's
but
going to happen.
listen, like he said, anytime I would smoke weed or even hit the cigarette, it was like
It'll
I
bring
fucking
you right back.
got high
High
again.
Yeah. That's
I
when
was
you
like,
have too much of it in you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, for like 6 weeks,
Right.
every time
I
I,
was
smoke
fucked
weed,
up,
and
man.
even a cigarette sometimes,
Yeah.
I would be high on fucking
Right.
PCP, bro.
That's fucking
I
bananas.
was
Crazy,
stuck.
bro.
Yeah, it
Stuck.
was like I'd hit a cigarette. I'd be scared to hit the cigarette. I was
Right,
like,
right. You're like, I'm going to be high right now.
Yeah, it's gonna fuck me up again.
Yeah.
Like for a month, I was like tripped out.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the worst thing you've seen happen in prison?
You want to go?
You go ahead. I'm gonna use the restroom. A whole lot of shit. Everything.
Man, I've seen some brutal. I've seen some
I
brutal,
gotta use the restrooms,
brutal stabbings in
Yeah.
prison. I remember I was at Lancaster. Me and my boy Tiny were talking about this. I was at Lancaster, and when you're up north, the homies got people to trip on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you come down south, those dudes from up there aren't there. So now everybody's tripping on their own.
Yeah.
And so I remember getting to this yard, and it was like there was a big control shift of who was going to control. And this is a 4-yard. I
Yeah.
get to this 4-yard, and the day I get to this 4-yard, I hit there with my paperwork. I go out, and I see the right-hand man and the dude that's running the yard, right? Yeah, I talk to him. Hey, what's up? Boop, this way. They check my shit. It's all good. Hey, what's up? The next unlock in the morning time, that guy that I've just met that has the yard
Yeah.
and his right-hand man, they're standing there. I'm standing about 50 feet away from him, and fucking homies come up. A couple different homies come up, man, and fucking they give this guy Kool-Aid. They give him a Kool-Aid smile, bro. They opened up his face and be 3 or 4 different places and hit his neck, bro. And
The guy with the keys?
yeah, the one that was running the yard, dude. Yeah, and and it was one of the first times that I was up real close, and like because I was so new,
Yeah.
I really didn't get the information that this was gonna happen.
Right.
So I'm like standing not that far away, and this dude was straight razors, bro, and I watched the whole thing go down and watched this guy hit the ground, and it was fierce. I mean, I'd seen some bookings going down, some good ones, bro, but this one was kind of like we're just flesh wounds where they're just splitting wide open, dude, and you're seeing the white meat. Like,
Did they book both of them or just the guy
no,
with the
just
keys?
him, dude.
Oh.
No, the right-hand man was one of the guys
Oh,
who started booking
shit.
him too. Yeah, you know how that goes
Yeah.
down. Your own homies.
Yeah.
And I remember like checking it out. I was just like, fuck. And it was like a sprinkler system, dude. This dude's blood was hitting fucking people that were like within 10 feet of him.
Did he
And
make it?
Yeah, he made it. They fucking, they fucking down.
Yeah.
And they fired off a couple shots.
Yeah.
Everybody was down, and that team came out and patched him and ran him off, and I was like, that dude's for sure dead. Oh yeah, he made it. The crazy thing is that most guys that I've seen that have gotten slashed in the neck, and they're like shooting out blood. These guys, they're so quick on those yards, and those medic teams are really, really fast, man. Those guys, it's usually the guy that's stuck in a cell.
Yeah.
Or stuck somewhere where he's just getting whacked.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it. But like those quick slashings.
The medics. Jesus.
Yeah, they do. Man, they do. I've seen some shit where I was like, and then I've even gone to MTA after I saw some dude get sliced bad. And I see the dude like a week later. The guy's got like 100 staples across his face. I'm like, man, that guy's still walking around, bro.
Fuck.
Yeah, so I think that stabbing was one of the most, it was a slashing.
Yeah.
Was one of the most brutal. And I saw, a pretty thorough stabbing in the county jail that somebody gave with a ladle. With a long dip ladle.
Yeah.
It was like a sword, and saw them go to town in Supermax or somebody, man. It was pretty fucking awful, bro. But it was some dudes that didn't involve us. It was some other guys. But those were like the two that stand out in my mind.
Yeah.
Seen some good bookings.
People don't like the youngsters that think there's glamour and all that kind of shit in it. It's like what Lepke was talking about, like getting the dope fronted and shit. Like, like that'll get you fucking killed.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
The difference between state prison, which is they always told me that there's only 2 state prisons in the state of California. Did you guys know that?
No.
That's a true story. What they mean by that is that all the other places are categorized as institutions. CTF,
CIM,
Soledad, California Institute for Men, Dual Vocational Institute at Tracy.
What is it, San Quentin and Old Folsom?
San Quentin, State Penitentiary San Quentin, and then Old Folsom has the Cigna.
Yeah.
You know the Cigna?
The logo on the front.
The logo, which is state prison logo. So what the
FSP.
the Chinese, Quentin was the first, and then a lot of people don't know, Old Folsom was built to house the incorrigibles that were from San Quentin. Because San Quentin's that's one of that and Tehachapi are the 2 big. I heard, they told me Tehachapi, the 2 yard and the 1 yard.
Yeah.
Those are big yards.
Yeah.
And Dual Vocational Institute is a big yard. And Soledad's a big yard. And Folsom was built, it was a whole. It was built like, you got to remember, when they built Folsom, when the Chinese built that, there was only 2 buildings. It was 5 building and 1 building.
Oh, okay.
So you see,
I've been in 5 and 1 and 2.
So here's so that's a small yard.
Yeah.
Right. I went through there in the 85. When I went through there, it was the
You were there in 85?
I'm going to tell you what it was when I went through there. They were just coming off of that war.
Yeah.
That with the name that we know that we want, we don't have to mention that name, but it's that one, and then the other name.
Yeah.
You had, so they were at war. And then what happened, that war had started in Quentin.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening was I got there in 85 at the ass end of the so what was happening with the Sureños was Sureños were getting hit. And I was 23 years old. I was a roll-up from Solano.
Yeah.
Because they had gave me another fucking 115 saying that I was involved in a stabbing assault.
Yeah.
Right? And what had happened, some people dropped some kites. Whatever happened in Solano happened.
Yeah.
So they came under a special escort. They took me. They took Indio from Norwalk, Monk from Basse Grande.
Mm-hmm.
Monk, they took Monk, and they shot them. Like, they took 2 or 3 and they separated us, sent them to Quentin. They took me also from City Terrace and Carlos from Brole. And they shot us to Folsom under special escort. And when we got there, we weren't presented a 115. I think, they gave us a stabbing assault 115. But when we went to the committee, to the gang coordinator, for after the 3rd day, they pulled us out of one building, right? And they pulled us down there, and the yard was, it was still at the ass end of the American Me shit,
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how that yard was getting regulated. So when I went in front of the gang cop, he goes, you know whose house this is, right? I go, yeah, I understand whose house this is. He goes, I'm gonna squash this 115 and just put you on the main line unless you want to PC up and go in the back. I go, well, no, I can't PC up. There's no way. He goes, well, I'm telling you, this is what they do here. This is like, he wasn't saying my guards, this is our house.
Yeah.
No, this house belongs to these guys, and that's who's running this house.
Yeah.
The Whoop and the Whoop. You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Them two,
Yeah.
those two. So I go, all right, no problem. He goes, do you think you have any enemies? I go, how do I know if I got any fucking enemies? There's only one way. And I'm going to find out is if you put me on the fucking yard, then I'll know if I have an enemy or not. And in other words, so the dude that I went with, also from City Terrace, I had been to YTS with him. We're YA babies.
Yeah.
So Oso's telling me, listen, if you ever did anything that you know, if you ever like even a Leva in YA, you know what that is? If they threw you on the shine in YA and you were considered that you didn't get them up in YA, they're gonna find out about that here.
Yeah.
They find out everything here. If you snitched on a homeboy or you did some dirt on anybody anywhere.
Yeah.
That's what they warned you. You go, look, you're gonna be okay if we let you out, because what the homies were doing when I got out on that yard was they were cleaning up the dudes that weren't getting off in that war, and I didn't understand because I would like we go to the yard and boom, somebody would get hit, and I'm like, and we get back in the cell, and Dreamer from Culver City was my cellie. That was Smokey from Venice's brother-in-law. You know, Big Smokey from Venice, right? So I heard that they ended up killing him. Anyway, so what happened was, so Dreamer they schooled me. They're like, hey, you know what? Like, you're gonna be all right. You know, this is, like don't raise your hand for nothing because there's motherfuckers before you that want to do the pegada. So you don't have to, like we didn't need to do nothing. Like the opportunities for anybody. So I was like, why are the homies getting hit? He goes, listen. Them dudes are getting hit because they didn't get off when they were in Quentin.
Yeah.
You ain't been to fucking San Quentin. You weren't around when that war was going on. You just drove up. Don't concern yourself with that. Don't ask questions.
Yeah.
You know, like, why are you worried about? Why are you so concerned about the homie getting hit? You know?
Yeah.
I was 23 years old, man. Fucking the fear that I had kept me alive another day. I believe that. People think fear is a bad thing, man. Fear is a great thing. If you have fear in anything, man, your fear might lead you to want to live one more day. I don't know. That fucking fear I had. I'm not saying, oh, I was scared. No, yeah, I was fucking fear. I had fear. Like, you come up to that. I don't care who you are. I told Lucky this. You're like homeboy looked over and goes, we finally made it, homie. We're here. Like, when I looked at that fucking thing,
The big badge.
that tower.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I understood when those old motherfuckers, I hear them talking in the county.
Yeah.
And they say, I don't give a fuck who you are. When you fucking push up to that fucking gate, you fucking gonna know you're gonna mind somebody. And I was looking at that gate like, fuck. Like that little voice came on. What the fuck did I do to get me here? like I understand I gotta do this because this is what I needed to do to upgrade my neighborhood and my name.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to upgrade me down the line. But fuck, man. This doesn't look cool.
It's a big price tag.
Like, this does not look cool. Like, I got the shit. Look, I still got that motherfucker tattooed on my arm, bro.
Oh, yeah.
That's at Eastgate.
Yeah.
You understand? So I was like, I wanted that.
When I got there, it was a 2-yard.
Right. Oh, no.
No, you were there when it was
right,
live.
Right. It was
and
live.
I'll tell you right now, I didn't see a ghost, but that
You
place
felt
is
that
fucking
motherfucker.
haunted.
That motherfucker.
I like,
You know how many people have died in there?
1,000.
They would. Listen, I know in the 2-yard where they see blood, they lock it down. Listen,
Yeah.
when I was there, bro,
Yeah.
check this out. They would let 3 stabbings go before they locked it down. And there would be 3 in one day.
Fuck.
Like, the first stabbing, they just roll them out. The second stabbing, roll them out. All right, continue yard. By the third stabbing, they had to lock it down. Now they got to investigate. 3 motherfuckers got hit. You got to lock it down. And then you go 3 days with nobody getting hit. Everybody was like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
I was, dude, I'll tell you a funny ass when I got.
That's a good one.
Dude, so I'm in Old Folsom, and I mean, it wasn't scary when I got there. It was a 2.
Right.
But I felt like you did. I got there, I was
yeah.
like, fuck, this is going to be cool. I really thought that.
It looks
You're
nice.
living that lifestyle. You're
Right.
like, fuck. Because I'm coming from Delano,
That's
which
a real
sucks.
joint.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we get there.
Yeah.
You're going to love this because actually this will play back into a meeting you and I were at 20 years ago.
Right.
So we get there and I'm in the 2 building,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm kind of sussing
Yeah.
shit out. And
Yeah.
there's this the fuck were they called? The NLRs, right?
Yeah.
This is like early to mid 90s. So
Dude, they were jumping when I was in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's probably like, you know, I can't remember how many people were in that prison. A lot though. It's like Lepke said, it's 1 yard, but 5 fucking buildings, right?
Yeah.
So it's got to be 4,000, I would think. But, so I get there and shit, and it's like, and these, you know, like you know how all them fucking Nazi dudes have all their rules, like
Right.
they don't like homosexuals, they don't like fucking, you know, all their shit or whatever.
Yeah.
So one day, I come out into the yard, and on the backside there are these handball courts, right?
Right.
And right to the right of them is like 4 little, like the little metal tables, you know, with the seats.
Right.
So every day there was these 2 lifers. It's like a hippie-ish dude from up north, and then this dude Mike. And Mike was probably like Lepke size, but just like with a mustache and no tattoos. And you knew like he was about, like he walked into a house and killed every motherfucker in it. You know what I mean? Like he was about it, you know? And he was super soft spoken, you know, exactly what you would think, you know what I mean? But every day Mike and this other dude sat at this table, right? And they're fucking lifers or whatever.
Right.
So I come out one day and there's a new, there's a new trans person on the yard or whatever, you know,
Right.
at that time they were, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, dude in the middle is from Puente, little man from Puente.
Oh, I know him.
That's yeah. He.
I know him. I was busted with him in Wayside. But I go to so I walk out to the yard, right? And there's a new fucking, you know, trans person, you know, it's
Right.
but she's
Trans
small.
woman.
She's real small. Like, you know, like a girl for real, like real thin and real little.
Right. Real petite.
Yeah, petite. I come around to the yard and she's sitting at that table with 3 of them dudes, right? And I'm like, that's wild.
Interesting.
And dude, it was fucking exactly, you know, it was weird. They're like, you know, like they're talking and like kind of like flirting with her and shit.
Yeah,
it was bizarre, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
And these 3 dudes are like, who it's supposed to be against their rules and all that
Right.
shit, you know?
Right, but they're falling in love with this motherfucker. Right?
Yeah.
But they're sitting there like, yeah, and like laughing and like making
Right.
these jokes. I'm like, fuck, this is, and they're like, hey, what's up, Larry? I'm like, yeah, what's
Right.
up? You know, I just kept going. So,
They think there's a lady on the yard.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
But I'm like, aren't you dudes? You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
thought that was
yeah,
against
right,
your old
right,
Nazi
right.
bullshit or
Right,
whatever.
Yeah, they're ready.
So I come back. I go to the weight pile, and then next thing you know, the fucking yard goes off. Right? There's a
Right.
fight at that table.
Right.
Then the fucking yard goes down and blah blah blah. So we all get. So I'm like, what the fuck happened? So apparently Mike and dude
Yeah.
came walking up, and Mike was just like, "Hey, can I get my seat?" And dude, you know, as if he was like with a chick. You know what I mean? Like plexed on him. Man, fuck you. And he stood up and Mike fired on him. Bam, bam.
Right.
Well, you know how them dudes do it. The 2 other ones, or another one of them jumps on Mike,
Right.
the lifer, right? So there's 2 dudes fighting Mike. The yard goes down. They chain everybody up and send them across the street to New Folsom.
Yeah. That's where you go.
And they're probably not even unchained. And we already get word Mike's like, I'm killing
Yeah.
chaos. I'm killing that motherfucker who jumped on.
Right.
And nobody can say anything. He's got it coming. Like,
Right, yeah.
but Mike's like, fuck that dude. You know, blah, blah, blah. So, and Chaos for some reason didn't get chained up. Only the initial dude he fought with. So
Right.
this dude's still in the yard with, and my celly was one of them dudes.
Right.
And I was like, man, you guys better fucking deal. You know, I'm like, you better deal with
Deal with
that,
that guy.
shit. Like,
Yeah.
and he's like, fuck, man, I know, and blah, blah, blah. And so the other dude who was with him, he did the right thing.
Right.
He stood up, rode the beef, and got the lifers, you know, like,
Yeah.
got them off. But meanwhile, dude's other homeboys had to smash him,
Wow.
you know, and they lit him up.
Such a vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle, and it's like,
It's like piranhas.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I after that, I get moved to the 5 building, right?
Yeah. That's an honor block.
Yeah.
When I was there.
No,
What
not
was that?
when I was there. It
What was
wasn't.
that? Blood Alley.
Yeah.
Did they tell you any stories about the mill in the back?
No, but
You can't even see down there.
you know what's down there now? The
It-
fucking gallows.
It used to be counseling.
The
office.
old hangman gallows are
Right,
down
right,
at the
right,
end,
right.
through the middle.
Right.
So you
But
go
they're-
over there?
Yeah, but they're big ass cells, huh?
The big cells.
They're
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
the biggest
cells.
cells you've ever seen.
Yeah, they're
Lucky.
big, man.
They are
Yeah,
huge.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm gonna be.
It
get
was
this-
a hole.
Oh, that makes sense.
Back in the day, because that was where they would like, look at how that door is.
yeah, it's an iron
like,
door
yeah, it's
with
an iron
holes.
door.
So what happened?
So
Yeah.
I'm in that fucking. I'm walking to the
come
cell.
on,
Right?
guy.
I'm walking to the cell. Sorry, this is two stories locked
Yeah.
into one. So I'm walking down to the cell or whatever, and I get there, and I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, man, it is abnormally cold in here. You know what I mean? Like, it's my third building I've been in that prison. And I'm like, it is fucking cold. And I had this driving partner named Angel, this dude from Richmond, right? And he was on the other side, to me, we're going, I go, man, something ain't right. He goes, yeah, it ain't right. This motherfucker is haunted.
Yeah.
Right? And he said he saw some shit. But anyhow, those same dudes I'm talking about who are fucking with that girl, right?
Yeah.
Two of them, like, jam me up about Angel,
Uh-huh.
right? They're like, hey, dude's a dropout and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you better be sure of that. You know what I mean? I'm like, and he was no fucking joke either.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, you better be fucking sure of
Yeah.
that. Like, I'm like, and even if he is,
Yeah.
he still got there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
some of them dudes, man.
yeah, I'm like,
ain't no joke.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
he
like-
he did something that if he did, and I'm like, and I'll tell you right now, I'm not fucking asking him.
Right.
So then they want to fucking hem him up, right?
Right.
So it's two dudes, and the one dude, he looked like Jason Priestley
Yeah.
from 21 Jump Street. Had
really?
a long handlebar, but he looked like he was in disguise. Like you're like, this motherfucker should not be in prison. And right when we rolled up, I had my cellie was this other dude, Stogie, and that dude came and handed a fucking list of their homeboys through the thing, which I snatched and flushed down the toilet. And I'm like, don't fucking be bringing that. What the fuck are you doing? Writing people's shit down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now this dude comes with this other dude, and I go with Angel. He's my fucking, he's my friend and shit. And I'm like, I go and we're standing there, and the dude who looks like Jason Priestley, all pretty and shit, he's standing there, and I'm kind of just watching him. And Angel and this dude, Dog, are talking. Angel just looks at the other dude and goes, and then looks back at Dog and goes, tell your girlfriend to quit looking at me or I'll cut her fucking throat, right? And I was like, fuck, this is going to go dark, right? Anyway, Angel just looked at him and he's like, is there something you want to fucking ask me?
Right.
You know what I mean? He goes, lay it out.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they froze up and that was the end of it.
Yeah, they ain't gonna.
They ain't got nothing.
Nothing to say.
They kind of squatted. So now, years go by. I do another violation, whatever. I get sober, and I'm at a meeting with Ron Emery at Venice High School, I think, or Santa Monica High School.
all right.
It was a Friday night meeting. You were there. It was a big ass meeting on a Friday night, and I just went there to meet Ron Emery, right? And I'm there, and the dude, the Jason Priestley dude, I'm looking,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
and he's in the fucking, but he's
No
clean
way.
shaven and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And I'm like, and I don't fucking have no beefs with nobody,
No,
but I like
right,
saw him.
right,
I'm like,
yeah.
that's
Hey.
fucking Dewey, you know?
Right.
And I walk up, I was like, hey, Dewey. And dude just fucking turned white.
Yeah.
I go, oh, man, I'm glad you're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad you're
yeah.
here. It's all
Welcome
straight.
home. Welcome home.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, welcome home. But I was like,
welcome home.
because a lot of these youngsters, they think it's
Yeah.
glamorous
No,
and that,
no,
like,
right.
you know what I mean? There's no fucking glamour in it.
No.
Like,
It's all bad.
yeah,
It's
all
it's all bad. Cool. Are we good?
We good?
Cool.
Charlie's like, yeah, we were good. Fucking, we were good
We're
two
good
hours
2
ago.
hours
Fuck.
Crickets are cricketing.
We might have fucking 2 episodes out of
Oh,
that,
we
huh?
definitely got 2.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
put
some
2
great
on
shit.
this, man.
Yeah.
Shout
Yeah.
out to, we're gonna real quick.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Give a shout out.
yeah.
Yeah,
To
to
the ones that count.
Yeah.
yeah, big shout out to the Soul Assassins, DJ Muggs, Estevan Oreo, Mr. Cartoon, OG Lep, right?
Yeah.
Lucky,
B-Boy, Bobby.
Gentlemen, Bobby, everybody, man. We give them a shout out, whether they hear it or they not. They don't hear it. The fact of the matter is that whoever we didn't shout out, we got you in spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Big
if you're out
Cranks.
there, and you know who else we're gonna shout out? We're gonna shout out all you youngsters out there that tuned in, and all you older people that tuned in, and we letting you know, man, we here. The wake up call is long overdue. The Hard Luck Show, Supermax, all that good
Supermax
shit.
brand,
Yeah,
Hard
we
Luck
got
Show,
Joker
Hard
brand.
to Kill.
Everything, man.
Yeah,
We're coming at you this year, man. 2020.
And thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Man.
When
Thank you
is-
for having us.
when
This
is-
show is dope. My son, me, we're all
Well, we
about
love
this
your
show.
show.
And we're listening to this show on the way up.
Oh, word.
So it's all bad. It's all good for it's all bad, bro. I got you. Hey, Keith, I got your back, bro.
I know,
I
man. You
got
always
your
look
back
out.
100%,
Hey,
bro.
wait, can you tell us when Supermax is dropping?
Supermax is dropping in about 6 weeks. And
Oh,
that's
wow.
at
Fuck.
Supermax Hardware
Right.
and www.supermaxhardware.com. You'll be able to see it.
Perfect.
See it. Yeah.
Yeah, we got some shit. It's gonna be it's like what's in the making. Hard
Yeah.
to Kill.
Oh, another one.
Right.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
we got the Hard to Kill.
we got a podcast.
Shout out to
TV
Paul
show.
Rossi.
Yeah.
Oh, rad.
Called Hard to Kill. So that's going to be coming out as
Right.
well. So we got some things. H2K
Oh, right.
Media. Yeah.
Also, you're working on a film, right?
Yeah, working on a documentary called Westlos.
Yeah.
Westlos, the documentary with Charlie Chacon and my partner Chumahan. We're producing that, and we're producing with Maria Soto. We're producing a documentary called Girls in Gangs, and it's all about females that have been living the lifestyle. And
Oh, you got to talk to my friend started that charity, Girls and Gangs.
really,
Yeah, Belinda Walker. Yeah, you
Okay.
got to talk to her.
yeah, we're Girls in Gangs.
Where's
with a Z.
Belinda at?
Belinda's my friend's mother, actually.
She's not the one working at Homeboy?
I don't think she's working at Homeboy.
No.
But her husband was a high-power lawyer.
Right.
And, she's just a kind of a philanthropist lady.
Uh-huh.
So she started Girls and Gangs, and I think another one called the LA Women's Association.
Wow.
But it's probably along the line of what you're talking about.
Might be. We're Girls in Gangs with the Z. Girls, GIRLZ.
Yeah.
And Gangs, GANGZ.
Okay.
But
Wow.
yeah, we need to hook up.
Yeah.
So we got those projects. Lepke's got quite a few projects. And what is it? Is it LA Originals? That's Estevan Oriol.
Estevan
and
Yeah.
Mr. Cartoons documentary that comes out
Oh,
next month
shit.
on
And
Netflix.
then we got to give a shout out to Manny Jimenez for Suspect
Manny Jimenez,
Entertainment.
Yeah.
He's up. He's doing his thing, man. He's everybody we're trying to do like he said, man. We've been through it. We're just trying to like if I talk to 100 and one kid takes that, man, and he sleeps on it and wakes up and decides that the important thing to do is pay the bills, help his mother, and to go to school. I happen to be in school. I'm in my 3rd year.
That's right.
I'm in my 4th
great.
year, really. Somebody tried to clown me today at school. Like, oh, you've been here 4 fucking years. I'm like, what? I'll be here another fucking 4 years. Bro, I'm not in the fucking pen. Like, who are you characters? Like, alcohol is a drug, period.
Yeah.
I smelled this. Like, the motherfucker trying to tell me you're clean and sober, but you smell like fucking liquor. And
Yeah.
then another dude goes out, what's up with that dude? Some people, man, they're in denial, man. Denial. Don't even know you're fucking lying. Don't even know I'm lying. That's what
Hey, brother, I just, I'm glad we got to come up here, man. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure being
We're
on the
stoked.
show,
you,
brother.
man. Thank you for the
And
good
I
coffee,
just
the good food.
Yeah.
Love, it's all bad, bro.
Yeah,
I'm a
we love you
fan,
guys.
so
Thanks.
Thank you for having us on
Thank you
tonight,
guys
man.
so much. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
God
All right,
bless.
adios.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on It's All Bad on your favorite podcast platform and Instagram at It Is All Bad.
Like and subscribe. Leave a comment, a review. Slide into our DMs. Send us an email at itisallbadpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you, Charlie. Nailed that shit. And if you want to reach out, if you got any stories for us, we should have the call-in set up fairly soon. We got some gear dropping shortly, so keep an eye out for that. And thanks a lot, guys. We love you all.